debate, pushed by hate, concentrate, penetrate, generate, motivate, live by faith, keep believing. I know the reason, it's the season, now's the time. Keep on dreaming, keep on leading, and keep on fighting.
I am fighting for the liberation of voices with something to say, like many before me. For glory, you'll have to stand in harm's way. I'm no savior, just a soldier with an order. So I have no choice but to trust the God, 'cause it must be done. And my only fear is what might happen if I didn't fight to win. If I lose, then this was worth fighting for.
If I lose, then it was worth fighting for. And if I win, I only live to fight again. And that's what the Fighting Irish did tonight, boys. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Oh my gosh, my cup is full. I cannot describe the joy in my heart right now of winning the Sugar Bowl, winning a New Year's Six. It has been over 30 years, hours of me bitching and moaning on this podcast, scotch spreadsheet, a lot of scotch, and here we are. We beat Georgia. We beat the SEC champion. It was gritty. It was a Notre Dame gritty win. It's not going to win any, popularity contests or anything. It doesn't matter. We won a New Year's Six. The first time Notre Dame has won a New Year's Six in over 30 years. Put that in your mind. How momentous, monumental, and amazing this is. I'm just gonna marinate the juices all over myself all week, but we cannot be too excited for too long. We got a big game against Penn State next week, which, believe it or not, is actually my baby's 1-year birthday. So who knows what that means? But oh my gosh, I just want to get everybody's reaction. I don't know where the hell everybody is. Everyone's got work or whatever, but I am so happy to be doing this post-game show. This is probably the best I have felt in a long time doing a show. Definitely since the Clemson win of 2020, but this has way more depth and gravity and just momentum, and just this is a game that matters. This is one of those wins that will live on in infamy. So I mean, I'm just super happy and super pumped. So thank you everyone for joining me. No introduction. Sorry about that. This is Joe at Faithful_Irish on the Fighting Irish Faithful podcast. Volume 147. It took us 147 wins or podcasts really to finally get a New Year's Six. Season 5, episode 28. We win the Sugar Bowl. Notre Dame is victorious over Georgia. Defense and special teams are the talk of the town. We win 23-10. And if you recall from our pregame show that we had earlier in the week, I predicted we would win by 13. Now, not exactly this gritty defensive score, but I did predict a 13-point victory, and that was just, my knee-jerk reaction. So we're going to go straight to people. I want to go straight to boots on the ground. Jay, invite you to speak live from New Orleans if he can join us. There's Adam Dowling, who's joining us from northwestern Indiana. I love it. Adam will bring you on. Absolutely. I want to get as many people's reactions as possible. This is more of a reaction show, not so much the scotch and spreadsheets, because now here's a fun thing. This is kind of more of a function of just the numbers, not necessarily Notre Dame's effectivity. But what do I always talk about? Yards per point. Notre Dame still had a yards per point of 10.6 in this game. Thank you, special teams and defense, for that. But, I mean, holding Georgia to 29.6, it's absolutely awful. Their season average of yards per point was 12.5. So, good job on our defense. Al Golden locking them down. Georgia could do nothing. They had a couple of good, quick, big plays. They've got good playmakers. Nothing surprising about that, but very, very happy for Notre Dame. Jay, I see you there. We'll go straight to Jay. What's up, man?
Hey man, I have very little voice. But, yeah,
Good. That means you left it all out in the Superdome there, right?
Absolutely did. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to be there. It was great to see the Irish win, and it was a long time coming, like you said. So very happy.
Yeah. What's the mood down there in New Orleans like? Is everyone just going crazy and just like, oh my gosh, or is everybody like, like making the sign of the cross, like thank you Jesus, like we finally got one?
I think it's a finally got one. Yeah. I think everybody that was there, and I don't think a single Irish fan left until the very last moment from the Superdome.
Yeah.
We all stuck around until the very end. So yeah, it was a great. Everybody was very happy. The one thing I think is funny is on the way out, another Irish fan goes, "Yeah, Kelly would have never won one."
That's true. That's funny. I was waiting. Let's see. What's your over under of less than 10 minutes of the Brian Kelly bash? I was actually thinking about that while putting the baby to bed tonight. So that's funny. So you got no voice. You got a drive, a happy drive home. I get that, manana, right?
Yeah, first thing in the morning, we're heading home, but very happy, very much so.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Anything else we need to be left with? We want to just get everyone's reaction, but we knew you were on the ground. You had to stay an extra day. Glad you stayed safe despite all the security whatnots that was going on. But anything else you need to leave us with?
No, I'm really happy for the team. Happy that they got this one off their back, and let's see them go to the Orange Bowl and beat Penn State.
Amen. No, that's 100% right. And it's not, and I said this in the show prior to the game that, like, this is the burden, quote unquote, that falls on this team to, hey, you guys got to win the New Year's Six, but it's not, it goes beyond just 30 years of not doing it. It's this team, these goals of this team, where you're going, progressing, to greaterness and goodness here of Notre Dame football. Clearly the team, took care of business, secured the victory tonight, and now is moving on. I feel like me as a fan, though, like now that we have this New Year's Six win finally under our belt after so many years of just disappointment and pain and angst, etc., that the distraction of that is now gone. I really feel like now we can just have full clarity and clairvoyance going forward. Am I too outward thinking there, Jay? Or
No, I think that's exactly right. Now you can focus. Right now is the time to focus. We don't have to worry about anything else. There's no hesitation about, well, what if we don't win? Now let's just focus and move forward with the next goal.
Yeah, we don't have to wrestle with demons about past New Year's Six losses and, oh shit, this could happen again kind of nonsense. No, we can just move on and say, look, we got a big game, we got a big opponent. Let's go down to Miami and let's kick Penn State's ass. Absolutely. Well, good, Jay. I really appreciate you jumping on. We'll let you listen on there. Unless there's anything else, by all means, jump on. But, Jay, thank you so much for joining us live from New Orleans, from the Sugar Bowl. Hopefully you're not too much on a sugar high, but hopefully the beignets were good.
Yeah, it was a great time. So, go Irish.
Go Irish. Thank you, Jay, so much. Go straight to Adam Dowling here, who's on mute. Adam, hope you're there. Happy to listen and join in tonight. Man, what a huge victory for Notre Dame tonight.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Oh man, Adam, this is the best I have felt in decades.
This is the biggest game we've won in 30 years.
It is the biggest game we've won in 30 years. We have not won a game like this in forever. This feels so fucking good.
Joe, somebody that's our age, like we won a couple of these games when we were little kids.
When I was a little kid, yes, it was 1994.
Yes, but we've never seen it as adults.
No. I was not drinking scotch back in 1994. I will tell you that.
And we played. If you really think of the game and how it went, it's so insane that we pretty much played equal with Georgia on the line of scrimmage with all backup linemen on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Without Benjamin Morrison.
Nope.
And it was like an even game most of it. Like they weren't faster than us. They weren't stronger than us. And we were playing with backups. And the national media doesn't ever say it. We had 3 backups on the D line.
Yes.
2 or 3 backups on the O line. We have been the most injured team in the country and no one will talk about it. And this is the difference between Freeman and Kelly. Kelly's teams could never survive the injuries we had this year.
No, it's because we have a system. We have a wizard on the defensive side of the ball. He has a system. This is what you do. We talked about it on Tuesday. This is the practice. This is the scheme, right? We have well coached players who are playing with confidence. I don't care. ESPN I don't want to say respect to ESPN. I gotta check myself at the door on that one. But they don't hesitate to bring up like the weight differential of the line and some of this other bullshit. Look, all that matters is this, okay? Despite the fact that Georgia had 296 yard points versus Notre Dame's 244. They had 62 rushing yards, okay? Which we already knew that they were suspect in the rushing offense, okay? They averaged 129. We basically cut that shit in half for them, okay? Sorry, Georgia, not today, all right? Head back to Georgia, all right? The big boys are playing football right now. I don't care if you have outmassed us on your offensive line. It doesn't matter. As Adam Dowling's putting out here, we've got guys rotating in who know their assignment, are disciplined, savvy, and are able to take care of business and shut them the frick down. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, and we didn't get any help from the officials. We didn't get any help.
Fuck the refs. That was the worst officiating I have seen in forever. I've never seen a game so bad.
Tell me if I'm crazy on this.
What's false? What the one that I almost cussed. Go ahead, Adam. Sorry.
Tiffany says I'm crazy and I'm being ridiculous because I have no voice left. But she says, because I said every time we got tackled, they were moving the ball back a yard. Even though it was a couple times with Jardine Price and Faison, rather they got tackled like 9.5 yards. Like they were moving it back 2 yards every time.
Yeah, and then there was that one time, and I mean, it was the right call. They we were slightly short, I don't know who it was, like Faison or something, and they went to the replay and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, we got to really back this up. That was not quite a first down." It's like if that was Georgia, they wouldn't have fucking done that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was the right call.
It was the right call. I'm not gonna say it was the wrong call, but it's just like, oh, we're going to really put Notre Dame under the microscope. The one that had me off the wall, and someone who's way more savvy with football rules, please tell me about this. Delay of game on the defense. What the fuck is that?
So, Joe, what that is they're saying that Kaiser made like a noise to make the guy shift. And they say, like, if you, it's almost like faking the snap count. If you say, like, when we played football, defensive guy would, say, "Hut!" And it would, fake it. But now they do, claps and sounds. So the defense will, do a clap to make a move. But they're saying if you do, a noise to make the offensive line jump upside, they call it a delay game.
What if you fart?
That's what that penalty is. It's stupid. It's a bullshit penalty.
That is such a bullshit penalty. That's like,
yes.
Fuck you, refs. Okay, where was this officiating crew from? Does anybody know that?
Big 12.
Big 12, big
Yep.
piece of shit is what you are.
And the
Okay.
one on phase on when we got that first down,
The
we were gonna be inside
the
like the
face
10-yard
on
line.
one, I'm a little sympathetic to, just because I was a receiver and he was kind of like, it's like, dude, just stay in motion, stay on your line going horizontal. He kind of like creeped forward a little bit. You're not allowed to do that. Like if he had just like turned from like kind of like a jogging gait and then just kind of like pivoted and did like the tight end shuffle kind of thing, if you know what I'm saying, like down the line, that would have been fine. But he did move forward, which you are not allowed to do. So
If you watch that number 11 on Georgia, and teams in college football do this all the time, where LSU does this a ton. They send guys in motion, and you can tell the guys are going forward before the snap, which is totally a penalty.
yeah, that's like
But no one
CFL
calls
arena
it.
shit. Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's like the old arena. They give them like a head start run. To
I
get
love
off
arena
the press
football, by the way.
coverage. Oh yeah, it was fun. Arena football was fun. It was.
Go Spokane Shock. Oh man, that's
Hey,
anyway.
I'll get off now, guys. But it's just fun. I
No,
had
it's
to
cool, Adam.
tell-
Adam,
we were
anything else?
celebrating.
Is this the biggest win for you as a fan in forever?
Since I was a little kid, yeah.
Oh, awesome! Hey, as an
100%.
adult who's legally allowed to
As an
drink booze
adult,
like myself,
I can
absolutely.
remember as a 6-year-old, I was at Miami in '88.
Damn.
As a 6, but I barely remember it. The first game I really truly remember that was a
Snowball.
massive win was the Snow Bowl with
Snowball.
Penn State, and then I was at Florida State in '93, which my dad swears to me, because we got my dad and my brother tickets for the game too against Indiana. My dad, who's been at every big game since the late '70s, says that Indiana game was the best environment he's ever seen
Yeah.
at Notre Dame Stadium. He never sat once. He swears it. I'm like, I don't know, Dad. We were at 88. We were at no. He swears it was the best ever.
Wow.
So
Even bigger than
for a
like the
guy
Bush Push and shit like that.
Yeah, Bush Push. I was at.
Wow.
We were both at. My dad.
That's
swears
huge.
that
If
the
your
Indiana
dad is
game-
saying that IU game, I will say this, Adam. That IU game was the best game experience I've ever had, and I was so happy to share that with my dad, with Luis, and our small little crew that we had up in Section 15. That environment was so good because, and what's great about it is not so much like I mean, the weather was cold, but everybody stood the whole time, and the energy was dialed to 11 the entire time, and the team came out, played well. Like, that IU game was so high, and I had such an awesome football feeling leaving that game. But I'll tell you what, Adam, I was not brought to tears after that game. I was brought to tears after this game. It's like, finally, we did it. And I'm not like trying to get all like, emotional and savvy and shit. Like, I've been pushing Notre Dame as a program to achieve greatness, and I don't do this. I mean, I do the statistics thing for fun, but it's like, this is done with a purpose. This is done with intent. It's like, look, Notre Dame, these are your problems. This is what you need to work on, and we're finally taking care of business and doing what we have to fucking do to be a successful football team. And when you see it, it's like seeing a Rembrandt for the first time, or like, not quite. I don't want to say like the first time you see your newborn child, because that's not even close. But like, you guys get kind of get my point. Like the beauty of seeing Notre Dame summit something that actually fucking matters, and winning a Sugar Bowl is such a relief and such a glorified happiness for me, that it's like, oh my god, I'm just on cloud nine. So
Yeah,
right.
Joe, I was the exact same way.
Oh
like,
my
even
gosh.
Tiffany was like, "What? I cannot believe how crazy you are right now." I'm like, "We haven't won a game like this our entire
We
life.
have
our entire
never won a
marriage.
game like this.
We've
Like,
never seen this. I was almost in tears. Like, and we dominated. Like, it was never even in.
And like we've been to the playoffs twice. Like, don't get me wrong. Like we're quote unquote in a similar situation in 2018, 2020. Like however you want to describe it. Now it's a 14 playoff, right? And who would have thought 3 teams from the Midwest, and then fucking Texas.
Yeah, but this was better.
This is better.
Kelly, those years, all he had to do was beat a bad USC and an average Michigan to make the playoff a couple of times.
Yeah.
This is you had to win 2 playoff games.
2 games
against and stop. Don't put down Indiana. I know the Indiana helmet. That's why no one was excited because that helmet doesn't get anyone excited. But when you go down to New Orleans and beat Georgia, a home game for Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, and you pretty much own them.
The SEC champion. Okay, this team was holding a fucking trophy like a week ago. Okay, and we snatched that bitch and threw it in the dumpster. We said, take your SEC trophy and go find it next to yesterday's donuts. Okay.
And this isn't a game we haven't won in 30 years, and it made me almost cry.
So
like,
great.
Seriously.
Oh, it made me cry. I'm sure the doc was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And I'm like,
"Yeah, that's what how Tiffany was with me. She was like trying to book stuff for Miami.
I really feel like Tiffany and the doc would get along really well.
Don't do that. You're jinxing it. Don't even think about it."
I'm like, at least I had a baby to clutch at the time, just like he's just like slapping me in the face now. He's kind of getting like that, but
the thing is, and this is what I've kind of been beaten. People have beaten me up for being really supportive of Marcus Freeman and what he's doing. But my point was always like Notre Dame can't do like the quick fix of the transfer portal and getting guys. Like you're going to have to give this guy time to get his team together. And if you really watch tonight, and people were skeptical for a while because we didn't play the best competition. But if you really watch tonight, Georgia isn't fast. The SEC champion is not faster than Notre Dame or stronger than Notre Dame.
No.
That is a huge difference. Like, we could hold up in the trenches sometimes, but we were never
with
as
backups. With backups. That's key. That is key. Well, Adam, we got a ton of people on. I don't want to cut you off.
Nice talking to you guys.
Yeah. Luis, I see you. Thank you, Adam, so much. Appreciate you, Adam Dowling. Huge contributor to the show. What did Adam? We gave you some title a long time ago. Something
insane because we look stronger and faster than Georgia.
We do. That's great. Luis, hang on. We're gonna go to Fivers. He's been waiting since the beginning. You've been invited to speak. Fivers, come back on, man. Are you screaming down in your neighborhood? Oh, I have to actually invite you to speak, don't I? Sorry, man. My bad. I don't know where my silly brother is. Fivers, come off mute, man. I want to hear your opinion.
All right.
Are you ready?
What a fucking win. I mean...
How happy are you? Just go.
I'm still trying to take this in. Like, it still really hasn't hit me that we just...
You can cry. It's okay. Like...
I know. I've thought about it, and it almost has happened, but it's just like, no, we still got 2 more games left.
Okay. Okay. So you're reserving yourself for like, look, this is just a necessary step. It's a cool step. I'm happy we got this step, but you're like, hey, look, I'm looking down the road. I feel you.
Yeah. I mean, we can't. I know. I think I speak for everyone when I say I think Penn State is overrated, but at the same time, don't overlook them.
Yeah.
So, one thing I do want to say is just fuck ISIS because,
Oh, gosh.
I mean, that's just horrible. I was reading that. And at first I was angry because the game wasn't going to be played. But then I was just like, now I understand, all those people died. And I said a few extra prayers last night as I went to bed and whatnot.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's unfortunate.
It really is.
It's for loved ones, too. Yeah.
I mean, it's the whole first of all, the terrorist attack is just complete cowardice, and this is a whole other podcast if you really want to get Joe's opinion about this. So we won't go down that road. But what I am happy is that The faithful, showed resolve on both Notre Dame and Georgia's side. Like this reminds me honestly of the '96 Olympics. Not nearly as bad, obviously, as far as death and that sort of thing. And obviously ISIS didn't exist, but like you have the Olympics, right? You have a joyful,
like a global thing.
A joyful, celebration of humanity coming together, to have healthy competition with athletics, right? In the Olympics, and then there's a pipe bomb in the Olympic Park, and and the Olympic committee was like, "F that, the games are not stopping, we're still going." Now this is a little different given the number of people and some of the other things. So I'm not gonna. I don't really have too much of an opinion about why they delayed the game to today. What I am happy about is the resolve of Notre Dame of not letting the ambiguity of the situation rattle them. How they remained resolved, how they remained flexible, how the team said, "Look, great, another day to watch film, prepare, rest up, whatever." Maybe there's a little angst and cabin fever associated with this.
Well, I do agree with putting back the game a day, but the only thing I don't like about that is that they made it not New Year's. I feel like they were trying to take away Notre Dame's New Year's 6 bowl win.
I mean, it's still a Sugar Bowl, so I mean, obviously we'll take a New Year's 6, and they've played these games on the 2nd or whatever before, so I'm not I'm not too wrapped around the axle. I will say this, Fivers, 11,324. Do you know what that is?
How many days since we last won the good New Year's 6 bowl?
That is 100% correct. You know me well. It has been now it is 0 days, but leading into today, prior to kickoff, it was 11,324 days since our last New Year's 6 win.
Damn.
And now that has gone down to 0. Now we have a New Year's 6. We can move on now as a program and put this bad dream behind us. That was an old Notre Dame program that now is growing and evolving away from
Bob Davie.
that. Well, and it's not just Bob Davie, but
well, it started with him.
I mean, Bob Davie has the worst loss of the whole bit, but that's a whole other topic altogether. Fivers, what else you got? We got a ton of people on. Want to try to get as many people as possible.
I got 2 more things to say. One is I've heard a lot on social media how Georgia had the best running back duo in the nation. That's pretty false.
Wrong.
Yeah, that's pretty false.
I need the Trump meme of wrong. Yep.
Wrong. Yeah.
Wrong.
I posted a Trump meme about how he was saying they were eating the dogs earlier. Yeah. So we pretty much we didn't even really. A lot of it was Riley Leonard too, and I remember that when he just jumped over that guy, and they also said that guy was like one of the best linebackers in the country. It didn't look like it. He can't even tackle a quarterback.
Yeah.
And we just out-everythinged Georgia. We out-coached them.
We did out-coach them.
Out-speed them. Out-powered them. Out-kicked them. Out-defended them.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of kicking, how about a huge, tip of the cap to Mitch Jeter? Holy shit. Where did that come from?
Mr. Redemption.
Holy shit. I'm like watching him like, okay, here we go. And then he hits a third one. And I turned to the doc and I was just like, I am shocked right now. And she's just like, I don't know what to tell you.
Give this man a drug test.
No, man, that was great. Yeah.
All right. Final thing I got to say is I got to give a thanks to my boy Luis because I woke up this morning and I'm like, there's no way we're going to win this. We're not doing it. And I was just really had this sense of dread. And then I saw Luis's video that he posted about him getting ready for the game, and that just completely did a 180 on my mood. I was like, you know what? We got this. We're gonna
You
win.
clearly didn't listen to our show on Tuesday when we were bitching with Georgia or a Georgia Michigan fan.
Yeah, I was having a few drinks with a friend. So.
Oh, other friends. Okay. Do they do podcasts as well?
No, they're not. He's not that cool. But yeah, I was just like, I was pretty anxious and nervous, and I'm like, I don't know if we can pull this off. Kirby Smart, at least at the time, I thought was a pretty good coach. And
well, he is a good coach. I mean, he's got like 8 New Year's 6 wins, including 2 fucking titles. So I don't want to take anything away from him as an experienced coach. It's not. Look, here's the deal, Fiverr. It's not Kirby Smart as a coach. It's just this is not Georgia of yore. This is not a Georgia team that has that, and that's not to take anything from Notre Dame and this solid victory that we just got. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, people who were concerned, or the boo birds who are out there saying like, oh, Georgia's gonna win, da 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 da. It's like, no. You guys don't understand. You're paying attention to the wrong things. You need to pay attention to statistics that actually matter. And when you compare Notre Dame versus Georgia line to line on those statistics, they are severely lacking. And what's funny about it, the statistics that Georgia was better, first off is passing, which, okay, fine, they had more passing yards. I don't care, because it doesn't really matter if we put up more points on the scoreboard than you do, okay?
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, tackles for loss and sacks. Notre Dame killed them. We had 4 sacks, 9 tackles for loss. They had 1 of both. One.
What they outweighed us by like 20 pounds too.
I don't care. Like
exactly.
It's amazing. So like one team looked like they were well coached, a well-oiled machine, ready to go. Didn't care about how heavy or fatter somebody was. One team came ready to play, and that was Notre Dame. And we looked at, like, it wasn't pretty. The offense is not going to win any special awards and that beauty pageants and shit like that, right? Mm-hmm. All the people who want us to just chuck it deep, like, quiet, okay, like, that's not what's getting it done. Notre Dame actually finally figured out that, hey, if we run the ball and then bounce it outside, we're actually fucking faster than you, Georgia, okay? And it took us till the third quarter to finally figure out that we could do that, okay?
I know. I mean, also, the last thing I want to say before I go is when Watts went down in the first quarter, that was probably the smartest thing I've ever seen. He lost his shoe and pretended he was injured so he can buy some time.
Yeah. I didn't really look at the calculus of that, but I'm with you there. Fibers, really appreciate you. We're gonna go straight to Luis, and then we got a ton of other people who are ready to go. Luis, thank you, Fibers. Luis, jump on, man.
What's up, my boy? What's up? Hey, Fiber, man. I'm glad I motivate you. That's the whole thing. We gotta get this new movement going on, bro. This ain't just your grandpa's team. This is all youth, all new generation, all Marcus Freeman era team. That's what we're about, my boy. And man, guys, I'm full of emotions right now. I cried earlier because you know what, Fiber? I feel you, my boy. I want to hold mine in until like we get that natty. But you know what? For 32 years, my boy, 32 freaking years, I had to hear how embarrassing we were, how stupid we were, and all this other shit. I'm sorry, excuse my language, but you know what?
No,
check this out, guys. We got it, my boys.
We got it.
We did not
We got a fucking New Year's 6.
But 3 times, man, to the SEC. Marcus Freeman was 3-0 against all your belt that ass, my boy. You want to be Bobby Boucher, bootleg, water boy, mother X. Guess what? We ain't that Notre Dame anymore, my boy. This is a new Notre Dame. This is the University of Notre Dame and the new Golden Domers that have a fucking attitude and they're willing to tell you, fuck you and have a nice day. Come find out.
4 quarters
Joe,
of fuck you bottle.
Ring the bell, Joe. Ring the bell.
4 quarters of fuck you football. That's what this is all about. Okay. Luis is 100% right. Like, we are taking it to the SEC champs right now. Okay. We just did that. Okay. So what is anybody going to say? And then ESPN and their idiocy has the audacity and, quite frankly, disrespectful to Georgia, be like, oh, this was not a good Georgia team, when Notre Dame's taking a fucking knee to end the game. You know, like, fuck you, ESPN. You guys are the biggest pieces of trash on planet Earth. The only reason why we have to watch you is because you forked over a fuck ton of money to pay for this whole playoff or whatever. Okay, you guys are part of the fucking problem that is NIL, but that's a whole other topic altogether. That's an off-season podcast. But anyway, back to Luis.
Here's the thing. I thought about you during this game, bro. I thought about you because we were next to each other. When I saw you with your dad and you saw me with my son, it was like that moment. Because you know what? You and your brother and JTL, you guys made something possible for me, my boy. Y'all made me want to go to Notre Dame to see a live football game. This thanks to you and motherfucking right now, my boy. And you know what? I'm crying, my boy. I'm hella crying because you know what? It's the first time in my life that I'm crying out of happiness and not seeing my sons born. And that's Notre Dame football.
Mm-hmm.
Besides my son, I love my mom. I love my family. I love my raza and all that. But it's nothing like Notre Dame football. And Marcus Freeman has brought so much joy. But you know what? You guys brought something out of me that has been holding in for such a long time, and I'm so glad to hear everybody do shout outs to me, invite me to your guys' stuff, invite me to this and all that. I gotta tell you, I'm a humble motherfucker, man. I'm a humble guy, because where I come from, there is nothing but 6 feet deep, or you make a wrong turn and you're hanging out with the wrong crowd. And I always told my kids, this is not what you're gonna be, because I'm not gonna let you guys be like that. There's a better life out there. Find a university, find something that you love. Think big, dream large, and this is what we're doing as fans. We're living large right now, guys. We're living large.
Yeah, and we ain't done yet. And Luis is 100% right. Luis is tapping into the emotion of not only him as a fan and people who have you know, I mean like everybody loves a an underdog story. Everybody loves, you know, the triumph over adversity kind of a story, right? And what Luis is touching on not only is you know, his personal journey, where he's at in life, and how Notre Dame is providing a positive impact to him, but he's also touching into something that people who outside of Notre Dame have no fucking idea to understand. Lou Holtz said it best: for those who know Notre Dame, no explanation's necessary. For those who don't, no explanation will suffice. That is Notre Dame in a nutshell. Like I can't describe it any better than that. You know, I try to do this and that, you know, when I see people, right? And some people get it, some people don't. I think as time has gone on, I think, you know, more and more people. But like that's just a function of Notre Dame not, you know, being the bandwagon big good team, right? You know, and Notre Dame I don't think ever will be, because A, we're independent, and B, we are something special. You know, we actually require our players to go to class. We have the Mother of Christ on the dome of a building, right? There's a basilica of, you know, on campus, right? There's a grotto of Our Lady of Lourdes, okay, where miracles in France have happened, right? You know what I'm saying? Like there's all these things that make Notre Dame really special beyond even football, right? And football is just like a you know, like the icing on the cake, in my opinion, of what Notre Dame is truly all about. But that's what makes this place amazing and great. And someone like Luis, who can come be part of a huge game, the inaugural playoff game. It was so much fun to meet you and hang out with you and cheer with you and celebrate, you know, touchdowns and shit with you. You know, the only thing we really didn't do was like push-ups and stuff, but I don't know if anyone really wanted us to do that. But you get my point, Luis. I mean, having this victory tonight is just such a good feeling for us as fans. Now, we ain't done yet, right? I want Penn State. I want to take it to the Nittany Lions, okay? That team needs to be put to fucking sleep, okay? I am so sick of Penn State continually to just kind of meander through the season, okay? lose to, Ohio State, then lose to Oregon, but then they're still kind of winning. And it's like, who the fuck have you guys win? And we'll break that down next week during the show. But, we don't have to get too much wrapped around the axle around Penn State tonight. But absolutely, the excitement that Luis is sharing and all of our fans tonight is unlike anything I've experienced, I think, ever as a fan, and especially someone now who's been paying attention to these statistics, paying attention to Notre Dame's history. Why are we not getting it done? Well, shit, you got to do this, that, and the other to make these things happen, and to see it come together for this team tonight is so great, and the reward is everybody's. That's the best part. So, Luis, anything else?
Yeah. And then one more thing, guys. I'm out of here real quick, guys. I just want to tell you guys, this is where we get to enjoy every single moment tonight. Enjoy this moment, enjoy this feeling, because there's more to come. And you're right, we're not done yet. We're on house money right now, my boys. We got a lot to go with. Right now, we're going for all. We're getting gritty, my boys. We're gonna start looking Gucci, like I told you.
We just moved up to the high roller table, baby.
We're at the high roller table now, my boy. Guess what? I like shopping down that aisle. I like going to Louis Vuitton, the Gucci, the Armani, the Perrieras, and the Prada outfits. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what? I'm a classy ass guy, and the older I get, the finer I get, and that's how we all should be feeling right now. Because it feels good to be a Notre Dame fan. And let's go, Irish. We're not done yet. We got a lot more to go, and we got a lot more to be cheering for about. But guess what? Tonight, we are the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, and it fucking feels good.
It does feel fucking good. I appreciate that, Luis. Thank you so much, so much. We're going to go over to Lynch Mob. I see Jimmy Joe, Mac, Irish JTL, ton of people here. We'll go to Lynch Mob. He's been waiting very patiently. Thank you so much. Lynch Mob, bring you on here, man. Get your reaction here.
What's up, brother?
Yo, man, how you feeling, man?
Oh man, it's been a day,
Yeah,
absolute day. Like a lot of emotion in that game, and especially after winning that game, that's huge.
it's huge. It is huge. Do you feel like many others that you're like, okay, we finally got the New Year's 6 thing? Are you like, nah, we already knew we were past that. This is just a necessary stepping stone to the real prize.
I don't know. It was tough this morning. I kind of thought about it, and I was kind of looking at things, and I'm like, man, if there's ever been a year, I think like this feels like it's the year. It's like, I don't know. That's the biggest win since the 90s.
Yeah, it is.
So to me, that's huge. I think the program, win or lose from here on out, I think it's a huge step in the right direction.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And we don't need to, console ourselves, already, next week. You know what I'm saying? I know that's not what you're doing, but you're 100% right. Like to get to this point as a program is nothing but pride.
Absolutely.
It's nothing but pride. So do we, so obviously 24-hour rule, we're going to celebrate this victory. And then we got Penn State coming up here. They've had a couple days to prepare for us per se after embarrassing my Broncos, which is unfortunate. But
right. Yeah, I knew you probably weren't happy about that one.
No, I but here's the thing, like Penn State was very systematic and did everything that they needed to do to shut down my Boise State Broncos. For anyone who's new here, Boise State is my second favorite team, but it's a long story. But Penn State put them on lockdown. They were a very disciplined football team, and so you're gonna see two disciplined football teams, I think, clashing in the Orange Bowl.
Absolutely.
All right, what else, man? We got a ton of people on. Wow me with your knowledge.
Oh no, go! I'm good. And then listening to Louise, that's what it's all about. It's a fan like him, with the ties to it and just the emotion is just it's huge. It's what Notre Dame's all about.
I agree. This is a place, and that's the best part about Notre Dame. I got a question. I'll save it for our next person. But well, actually, I won't save it for Irish JTL because we've heard his story. But there's so many avenues for people to be Notre Dame fans. Whether you went to school there or you're from the South Bend area, or you're Catholic, or your grandma was Irish, or you had a friend that went there, like whatever, your dad, grew up watching it. There's tons of reasons why someone could become a Notre Dame fan, and that does not necessarily translate to other programs, right? And yeah, it is what it is. So.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, Voice is catching up with me here. That means we got to jump over people. Coach Barsegian, I see you there, but you're not requesting to speak. I know you've been on since day one here. Is this Tony Rice? I don't think it's Tony Rice, but it looks like a Tennessee person. We'll come back to Tennessee person. Let's see. Let's go Jimmy Joe here. He's been on for a while, and then I see Mac and Irish GTL. We'll get you guys too, and then we'll go over to not Tony Rice, but Jimmy Joe. You there? Oh, he was on.
Hello.
Jimmy Joe, what's up, man?
Hello, Mr. Irishman. You know my story. I learning about football, but because of my friend Rami, the engineering student over at Notre Dame, he says you're becoming a Catholic. You have to go yay, go Irish. So I learned about football, and wow, that's the way I connect.
I love it. So with Notre Dame beating Georgia tonight, how is this special for you, Jimmy Joe?
Okay, the first half of the game, I was a little bit. It kind of like 3 minutes. 30 seconds before the end of the game. What was it? 3-3, and then we get we had another 3 points. It was 6-3. Then we come back and we get another 7. And oh my gosh, who's this? This is Mr. Harrison? Who is that man? He ran all the way back at the beginning of the second half.
I got a funny story about that, but continue.
20-3. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Everybody
blowing the
was
game
doing
out.
their job. Mr. Leonard Riley, he was doing more than he usually does. Mr. Jeter was kicking the ball so well.
He was kicking the ass out of the ball, that's for sure. Oh my God.
I was laughing with the missus because when we got up this morning, we said that thing with all the Hail Marys, we call that rosary, for the Notre Dame game so that we would win.
It is called the rosary, yes.
Yes. And it works. It's like magic.
That rosary worked. All right, Jimmy Joe, new assignment Thursday. You've got another rosary to take care of. Absolutely.
Okay, I'm wondering what Mr. Oregon, the man from Michigan, what he thinks about Mr. Strength and Schedule man. Oh boy.
Let's bring Jason on for that. No, that was from he was talking about Oregon. Yeah.
Oregon man.
Oh gosh! If anyone missed it, it was kind of at the time it was a little annoying, and then after listening to it, it was actually kind of entertaining. Go back to our previous show. We had a guy from Massachusetts who was a Michigan fan, but then was kind of propping up Georgia. I don't know, and then he had the rudeness to tell me my stats are flawed, which. Looks like I was right, motherfucker. But sorry, I couldn't hold back on that one. Go back to the show. It's about like there's like an hour or 45 minutes left. I don't remember what it was, but this guy comes on and starts talking about Georgia's strength of schedule and how they're gonna beat us and how my stats are flawed and Notre Dame's overrated, and it's like. Well, I just got crickets for you, buddy. So I think his name was Bill. So who knows where Bill is tonight? He's probably.
Oh, Mr. Irishman, you are such a smart man. I'm so glad that we were right. But you should tell your wife to make you hot toddy.
Make me hot toddy. I did go with a Bamore tonight, so we have a really, really, really good Scotch here from Isla tonight. Yeah, no, we've been fighting this damn cough for like 2 weeks now. It's been the cross I've been bearing this Christmas, but whatever.
Okay, well, I will say a prayer for you too. Okay?
Well, thank you, Jimmy Joe. Really glad you joined us tonight. Thank you so much.
Namaste, namaste. Go Irish. Yay.
Go Irish. Namaste. Let's go straight to Irish JTL, and then we'll move it around the horn here. Jason, how you doing, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Feeling fucking good.
Feeling great. Are you? It's funny. Oregon got their ass kicked by Ohio State. We dominate and kick Georgia's ass, so we're making Bill look stupid. But beyond just making the boo birds go eat crow right now, Notre Dame's flying high, and you predicted a victory of 18 points. Do you recall what my prediction was?
I did not recall.
It was 13 points. So
you did it.
It's like I'm a fucking prophet here. Okay.
You're like a savant.
Yeah. I'm gonna ring the bell for myself there. Okay. That's how arrogant I am. All right. If you don't like this, you can go turn it off, anybody. Okay. But you know what? Hey, when you do this shit for 5 years and you look at stats and you drink a scotch, even if you're sick, hey, shit just happens. Okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, our defense fucking showed up.
Oh my gosh, it was so great.
Yeah, Christian Gray got a bad pass interference penalty, but
that was
we were stopping the run, and I feel like if we had run Riley more, we would have opened it up even more.
Well, and what's crazy is we still ran the ball 60% of the time, which is great, which is not far off from. Well, it's a little higher than what we historically have done this season.
What did JTL say about turnovers though? 3 of them.
I said 3. I do have that. I've got two for them.
I called 3.
You did call 3.
And that second one in the first half was a big one, baby.
Oh my gosh, that one was huge. And then the points off of the absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Bo Collins doing the gritty.
Oh man, I was so happy with that touchdown. That was that's the best way to respond right after a huge turnover. When the other team coughs it up in their own zone.
After that happened, after we went up 13-3, did you ever feel like the game was in doubt? Because I didn't. I was not nervous.
Like my, I got a kind of a funny story here. So, halftime came. I'm trying to engage the children and stuff, try to keep them awake, give them candy and shit like that, right? And so when halftime came and we had the lead, I'm feeling good, but I'm like, hey, anything can happen, whatever. So I get the kid, and our trash came really late today. Maybe it's a function of the holiday, right? But I went and me and him, I put him in his jacket, right? We go outside. It's like an evening activity, so to speak. We go out, we play for like 5 minutes, because it's cold. But then we come back in, we bring the trash in. Well, and then anyone who's had little kids and you got like toddlers and stuff, and you're potty training them, and so we're past the potty training piece, but now he's still kind of dependent on going to the bathroom, right? Not to overshare here, but so right before halftime, and we that's when we had dinner, right? So I we pulled the roast out of the Instant Pot, right? I'm giving everyone the play-by-play, which by the way, we have extra roast. Yeah. Oh, it was phenomenal because I made it, but I'm a great chef, And if you didn't catch my chicken parm from last night, you're missing out. Okay.
I thought it was fucking delicious.
Dude, it looked so great. Yeah, you're like licking your phone. Don't tell me if you are. Yeah. But that being said, It's right before halftime, and then all of a sudden the toddler, he has this knack to be like, as soon as we start eating, hey, I gotta go pee or something, right? So I go take him to the bathroom, and the TV was kind of like low, obviously, because it was halftime at that point. I come out after, we're all done in there, and all I see is Georgia fans like with the sad face. And and I just see the Notre Dame sideline going nuts. And I look at the score. I'm like, did we return the kickoff? And I turn to the doc, and she just has this shit-eating grin on her face. She's like, yep. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
I was confident.
So I missed it live. I did not see the kick return, touchdown live.
13-3. I was telling my boys, like, this shit's over. They can't move the ball on us. They're getting lucky plays, and then Jaden just takes that kick return. I'm like, 20-3. It's over. It's over.
I didn't have that feeling, honestly. I was really tempered just because of Georgia and Kirby Smart's experience as a head coach, and maybe it's just my Catholic guilt about like, look, I just want to win this game and I don't want to get overconfident here. It wasn't until they had the turnover on downs that we got it, that I was just like, finally, that. It was all the way at the end of the game. I was, chewing the remote basically, for a whole half.
When we went up 20-3, I was like, it's over. It's fucking over.
Well, I appreciate your confidence.
I expected us to beat the shit out of them. And now they're all eating crow. They're like, oh, fuck, Notre Dame's actually really good. And that's what we need. We need other people to be like, fuck, those guys are good.
Yeah.
Because the whole narrative's been, oh, they're good against shit teams. Now we beat the fuck out of Georgia.
We embarrassed them.
We did. Let's be real. We gave up 10 points to a team that's supposed to be physical and can blow us off the ball and run the ball, and they beat Texas. I mean, we embarrassed them.
We beat the number 6 team in Sagarin by how many points? 13 points. They have a strength of schedule of 3rd to our 59. I don't care, Bill. Okay, so Bill's wrong. This is the SEC champion. Okay. So now it'd be funny to see all the SEC people all of a sudden start turning their allegiance over to Texas, which is
They won't.
They won't.
They've disappeared.
So I'm very happy that, and this isn't about the Boo Birds against Notre Dame, obviously, but this is the shit that we have to fight with on social media or on Spaces or whatever we're doing.
But I was fighting with it in house. Slap the Sign was like, oh fuck, we're fucking terrible. I'm like, our defense that gave up 3 points is terrible. He's like, well, the timestamps. No, we gave up 10 points. We gave up 10 points.
10 points. Tell me that sucks. It doesn't suck. Yeah, that's amazing.
We gave up a couple long passes, but we
won by 2 possessions.
Right, we play between the 20s, and that's what we do. And we fucking dominated the SEC's best.
I mean, let's pretend the final score was 35-42. Is Slap the Sign feeling better? We still win by the same fucking margin. I feel better with this margin. Well, I feel better with this score because that shows that we can shut a team the frick down.
We beat the shit out of them.
They could do nothing.
We literally beat the shit out of the best SEC team.
Amen.
We out-physicaled them. They were physical against us. There's no doubt.
No, they're a good football team. I'm not going to take anything away from Georgia.
What was the deciding factor? The
defense.
The number 2 defense in the country created 2 fucking turnovers that were the difference. And I'm like, oh, if you didn't cause the turnovers, that's what we do, motherfucker. We're number 1 in the country in turnover differential
Amen.
and turnovers. That's what we do.
That's right. We had a plus 15. I did this on the Dos Leprechauns show prior to kickoff. You know, they were talking some stuff, and I was dropping some stats. You know, doing my thing. I actually pulled the toddler in, and he was kind of hanging out with me. And I pulled up the spreadsheet, and I was like, oh, what is relevant information? Number 1 turnover margin. Notre Dame at the time was plus 15 over Georgia. Okay, so we were 16, they were plus 1.
Yeah.
So now that's changed because now they're going to be minus 2,
Texas,
minus 1.
Texas had 30. Texas had 30. We ended up with 32, and we took over.
Yeah, we are the third scoring defense in the country. We're the 8th scoring total defense in the country. We're the 8th. This is going into the game. 8th in the country in third down defense, 9th in the country in red zone scoring defense, 3rd in the country in passing defense. Where are the holes here?
There's no holes.
Exactly.
And it's like when we beat USC. They're like, oh, well, the score looked padded because you guys had 2 pick sixes. Of course we did.
Yes.
We're the best
because we're good
defense in the country, and we returned 2 picks. For fuck's sake. Like, what do you think we're supposed to do?
Exactly. All right, Jason, we're going to go over to Coach Barsigi and Adam here. We got a bunch of people who still want to speak, and I don't want to be up all night, so I really appreciate you jumping on.
You're good. Love you.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Go Irish. Really, really great. Coach Barsigi, let's bring you on, man. Oh, wait. I got to get your walk-up music. Keep talking. You there, Coach?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. What's up, man?
First of all, did you and your wife enjoy your card?
Yes, we did.
Did you? Okay. My wife worked hard on that and then procrastinated putting it in the mail for some reason.
Oh, no. It's perfectly fine.
My bad.
Got your intro there. No, thank you so much. No, that was great. Yeah.
First off, excuse me, I've got a little bit of a cough issue too.
You've been hanging out here. All right.
Well, first off, my boy Luis. Okay, you think back to mid to late 90s, the heyday of the Monday Night Wars with WCW and WWF. Luis is like Conan from the NWO.
Okay. I hear you.
You know what I'm talking about?
A little bit. Not as probably not nearly as
just
depth.
get on YouTube and look up Conan NWO Wolfpack.
Okay.
He used to come out every night and do the whole Arriba la Raza and all that stuff. Like, it was great. I love that stuff. But anyway, one takeaway that's been on my mind since probably midway through the fourth quarter. Brian Kelly, you know the scene in Rudy when he's waiting on the dress list?
Yeah. And he's like going down the list and shit.
Pillow. He's crying in his dorm room, clutching his pillow.
Yes.
I hope that is Brian Kelly tonight. I have this mental image of Brian Kelly doing that, realizing how bad he fucked up, thinking he could actually win at LSU, and Marcus Freeman is making him look like a little bitch right now.
Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, it's funny. I was kind of thinking about that too. It's just like, yep, here we are, Marcus Freeman, year 3, and Brian Kelly still is not nearly as close to getting a New Year's 6 under his belt at all. And it's nothing like, Kelly hate, because he's kind of just made his own bed, so to speak. But yeah, as a program, the fact that he's gone, he's now someone else's problem, basically. And that's honestly the response and the feeling I have about BK. Now that Coach Freeman is on our team, this is a guy who loves his players, loves this university. He's being interviewed, and he just got showered with Gatorade, and he's like, "Man, I love this university and stuff." You never hear that out of BK, and that tells you that this is a special coach.
The way he celebrates the strut that he was doing after that kickoff return for a touchdown. What other coach is able to do that and get away with it and make it look cool?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else can pull that off.
Yeah, it's genuine. That's what it is. It's genuine. It's genuine excitement for his players, genuine excitement for his team, and someone who's invested. Like he makes it. What's really great watching Coach Freeman is like, when we get down to those like 4th and 1, 4th and 2 kind of situation, it's a down and distance, and he toys with it, and he's like, yeah, we're going to do it, or no, we're not going to do it. And he there's a lot of confidence behind his decision. Now, I will say this. I absolutely fucking hated earlier in the game when it was like 4th and 1 and we're in fucking shotgun. Don't do that. Okay, that drives me up the wall. But that aside, I don't disagree with his decision as a coach to go for it in that situation. Yeah, that's a play calling situation. It's like, why are you in shotgun, right? Like, we just go under center, put the backs, in an I formation, or you know what I mean? Like, and you don't have to hand it off. Like, there's a lot of tricky things you can do still under center. Okay, just go talk to some guy named Tony Rice who did quite a lot of good, tricky stuff under center. So, one man's opinion here. But that being said, Coach, for you as a fan, and you kind of get the same question that everyone's been getting, how excited are you to finally get the New Year's 6 monkey off our back?
To pull back the curtain a little bit, I was 6 the last time it happened.
Yeah.
And I barely remember anything about it.
Yeah. No, I don't. I was 10, and when maybe I was 9, I think technically, but no, you're 100% right. Last time Notre Dame won a New Year's 6 was the 1994 Cotton Bowl, which was really the 93 season, the 93 team. And that's huge. It's huge for us as a program, for us as a university to finally get one of these again. I can't downplay this at all. Like people don't realize the gravity of winning a New Year's 6 and the momentum this builds, the optics of this thing, right? And it's not that I care about what ESPN or the media or any of these other people think. No, this is for us. This is for us as a program, for us as fans, for these players who can say, we finally won a New Year's 6 after 30 fucking years. Like, go back to your favorite players over the last 30 years. Anyone from, Jeff Samardzija to Ian Book to Brady Quinn to Darius Walker to Tom Zibikowski to Manti Te'o to Chase Claypool. Like, pick your favorite guy. Okay, Harrison Smith, all right, Golden Tate. None of them won a New Year's 6. None of them won. Okay, you got to go back to the Holtz years to talk to these guys who actually know what that feels like and can talk about it. Okay, and that's nothing against the legends that that have won other great games and have jumped into Michigan State's band. That's a Golden Tate reference there, but you guys get my point. These players today on this football team today just did something that is truly wonderful, and they're going to take this with them regardless of what happens next. Now, we're not done yet as a team, and I don't think this team is done either, right? So we're not packing nothing in. But we can still celebrate this with glory and happiness.
I will say I'm surprised how little trash talk I've seen from a lot of SEC fans, at least through my social media accounts.
Yeah.
There's been some from the Alabama SEC homers and whatever else.
Yeah.
But
there's been a few Georgia people, but nothing serious.
The one friend I have that is a Georgia fan, I've not said anything to him for the last week and a half, almost 2 weeks. For very good reason, because, I mean, look at our track record. I know better. So he said something to me earlier tonight that was like, clearly Notre Dame was the better team this year. And I can finally sit back and say he's right. Like, Notre Dame is the better team across the board.
Yes, we are.
In 13 of the 14 games this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but there's still some people that throw in that jab of, but, Alabama should have been in there. Look, Notre Dame would have boat raced the ever-loving shit out of Alabama in South Bend this year.
Amen.
It wouldn't have even been close. I mean, good grief. Alabama lost to Michigan twice in the same calendar year. So I don't think Alabama fans have any room to talk.
No, they've got some problems, especially after the shit fest they laid against Michigan. That was a surprise for me. I'll just say that. Coach, anything else? We got a couple more people we want to get to before we shut her down tonight.
No, just to everybody, it's like 5 Foot Nothing Pod said to me going into my trip to South Bend. Soak it in. Enjoy it.
Amen.
A lot of people are not just too young to realize what this feels like. They've never known what this feels like.
Yeah, this is new.
This is other than winning the national title, this is about as close as it gets for Notre Dame fans.
It is. That's 100% correct, right? We've got 2 more. We can revisit this feeling real good, in a week here. I mean, and the 24-hour rule, right? Enjoy this, celebrate this. Go, eat your pixie sticks or wherever the fuck you got to do. Eat your beignets, right? Put some extra sugar on your French toast in the morning. You know what I'm saying? But 24-hour rule, man, and we're gonna be squeezing oranges for the Orange Bowl.
And I'm not saying I'm satisfied in that we can win or lose in a week. I'm content.
Oh no, I want to beat Penn State.
I won't be, but we can finally say successful season.
Yeah, I agree.
Regardless what happens, we can finally say this is a successful good season.
Yes. So that is correct. That is correct. And we've had good seasons before, but to finish on a high note like this, with a trophy like this in a bowl game like this is nothing we've experienced in 30 years, right? And I'm with Coach Barsegian 100% on this. Thank you so much, Coach. Really appreciate it. I got William and Adam between the two of you. Whoever wants to jump on next.
What's
up, Adam? William.
Go Irish.
Go.
Let's do this, bro. I'm telling you, man. 31 years of fucking angst and freaking mediocrity are over. I am so happy for Coach Freeman and for the young men of Notre Dame. I'm
Appreciate
so glad
that.
we got the monkey off our back. I'm so glad we got the monkey back. And I unfortunately could not watch the game, so I had to pirate it in via YouTube, and only that was allowing me to listen to it, and I had to listen to it via a Georgia perspective.
Oh, Lord of mercy.
Tremendously. Yeah, it sucked tremendously until
Maybe there's an
until the
opportunity
fourth
for
quarter.
the Dos Leprechauns media to stream it live and make commentary and stuff.
Right. In the fourth quarter, they changed it over and then we're broadcasting from the Notre Dame side, the Notre Dame broadcasters. Anyway, so I got a couple questions. Maybe you can enlighten me there, because apparently Oben did a big ass play. What happened there? I didn't hear it. I didn't see it. So what happened? Because he's been non-existent all year except for this one play. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm sorry. Who are you talking about? I'm sorry.
The defensive guy with Ogen.
He had a strip sack that led to a touchdown as the first half ended.
Oh, okay, all right. And then you got to wonder what the coach of NIU said to Marcus Freeman, because whatever he said is really, really enlightened, coach. And Joe, I hope you get over this cold, because it's awful. It sounds awful.
It
bro.
sucks. Yeah, I won't lie. It's been a rough Christmas, but yeah. Sorry, I'm not trying to irritate people with my coughing
No,
and
I'm not
stuff,
taking
but
it such. I'm genuinely.
I mean, that's how I'm taking it. But no, I don't have the specifics of what you're looking for, so forgive me. RJ Oben, yeah, I see that here. Yeah, he finishes with one tackle, one sack, one tackle for loss. So hooray for our side. What I find very interesting about not only this game, but just the overall landscape of the playoffs. So you have Notre Dame win, Penn State wins, Ohio State destroys Oregon, which was kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, none of the
watch.
bye teams won. None of the
bye teams won. Every single team that hosted a home game, Texas, Penn State,
if I'm the selection committee,
Ohio State, and Notre Dame, all four of them all won their game, which I find very interesting. Now, whether that's coincident or I don't know. Is this kind of one of those things where it's like, look, I don't care if a team had a bye week, the team that just came off fresh from another week of practice or whatever, they're the fresher team and they're just clicking and they're moving. I don't know. Now I think Notre Dame is good enough that they we're going to beat Georgia either way. And same with Ohio State. I do think Ohio State is that good, and they are playing fucking angry right now. So take that for what it is. The Texas Arizona State game is really the only one that I think was interesting, where I think it could have gone either way. Regardless of my opinion of Scattaboo over at ASU, I do think that ASU put up a huge fight, but you actually see the precision that can be Texas, win out, which is what ended up happening. So,
real quick, do you think, I got to kind of take you through the woodshed here, has your opinion changed of Riley Leonard? Because early on,
good question.
Very poor.
Yeah, so as time has gone on, I sometimes do feel like Angeli would be good in a package. Now, that being said, as we're doing all these passes and shit, I'm just like, why are we not just running the football? And when that is my MO, I'm like, absolutely leave Riley Leonard in. So great question. I guess the answer the answer you want me to say, and the response you want me to say is I was wrong. I will say this.
I didn't say that.
No, well, I'll say that. Here's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see progression. I wanted to see improvement. Truth or a lie, William? Riley Leonard had a better completion percentage than Georgia today.
I want to say that's a lie.
It is a lie, really because they had the same completion percentage, 62.5. for both of them. Isn't that a little trick there? But that's what I'm talking about. Like,
Good night, guys.
hello.
Good night. I just want to say good night
see you
to
later,
y'all.
bro.
Oh, good night. Sweet
Chain gang in
dreams.
effect, baby. Chain gang in effect. But you were saying like the percentage wise.
No, all I'm saying is like what I care about is the effectivity of Riley Leonard, right? You know, are you an efficient passer? You know, how good are you on third down? How good are you in the completion percentage in order to allow us to sustain drives? Are you turning the fucking football over? Shit like that, right? 0 turnovers, okay, number 1. Okay, that's the best thing, you know, and it's kind of a negative argument per se, but it's like, look, you didn't turn the football over, right? So hooray, good on you. Third down percentage, we were better. It's not great, but it's still better than Georgia, 28.6% versus their 16.7%. Really bad.
Ouch.
Our passing attempts per touchdown, granted, we had less, but that's a function of our play calling, maybe a function of the score as well. But it's also not far off from what Georgia's been doing this season. They have been a pass-heavy team, which is probably why they're not as good, quote unquote, as a team as they have been. You know, this isn't Nick Chubb back there, right? You know, this is Travis Etienne's younger brother here, you know, who's now in there. And there's no disrespect to him. But look, Riley Leonard.
But we made him look average. We
let him look below average because we limited Georgia to 62 yards on the ground.
And what was their average rushing?
Average rushing. I don't. No, I do have this. They had 2.1 yards per carry. We're 4.2.
That's nowhere.
I'll take 4 yards every fucking play every single time. Okay, and I don't care. All right, it's nothing sexy. It doesn't have to be. But then back to Riley, and this is the last thing I want to say. His passing attempts per touchdown. He had a touchdown to Bo Collins, right? Good on you. He had 24 attempts, but 1 touchdown. Whereas Georgia had 32 attempts and 1 touchdown. So it doesn't matter. We're still like a factor of almost 10 better. 24 attempts per touchdown versus their 32. Okay, that's my point. I want to see Riley Leonard be an efficient quarterback. I know you're not going to be, you know, putting up Joe Burrow, Heisman, you know, kind of numbers. Okay, that's spoiled. Okay, if we can do that, right? That is not what this football team has been. And so anyone I talk to before the games, and this is not calling out anyone specifically, but I talk to people and they're like, oh, we need to just, you know, chuck it deep to face on and this, that. I'm like, are you paying attention to this football team? I don't think we have the ability to do that. That's nothing against Faison or Riley Leonard or them personally. It's just, where have you seen us do that? We're not doing that. That's not how this team is built, okay? I would rather you be smart and you know, directive with your passing rather than just chuck it because we think we got Brady Quinn on the team. No. Okay.
That's fair. And to be fair to you, you did mention all the parameters that you said about Riley Leonard. You said early on, and you mentioned it early on.
Well, and he wasn't doing very good in those parameters.
That's what I'm saying.
But at the end of the day, I also want him to do better than the opponent, right? 24 passing attempts per touchdown is nothing to ride home about. But when your opponent's putting up 32 and you're at 24, you're smelling pretty good like violets and roses here.
Okay, Joe, but what I was getting to, the point I was making too, is like, but there were certain parameters outside that the immeasurables that he is presenting.
Well, I haven't even talked about running the football, right? Like, that's a whole other, can of worms
the guy
here. That
sacrificing himself out there.
Yeah, no, look, in the Purdue game when he's stiff arming people and doing all that shit. I'm like, damn, there's things he's doing that no one else on this football team can do, and we are blessed to have that, okay? How that materializes as season goes on is something else, and we're seeing it right now, so hooray for our side.
right for us. Hey, I hope you get better. Wish
Yeah,
you
me
well.
too.
Wish the family gets better too, man. All right, go Irish. Looking
Go
forward to
Irish. I
Thanksgiving.
doubt we'll be that much
Slaying
better
those
next week
Lions.
Tuesday, but yeah, I appreciate that. William, thanks so much. We'll jump over to Adam. We're going to start winding down. We're about an hour and a half in. Adam, you there, man? It says you're on mute. Maybe.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? How you feeling tonight with the New Year's 6 win?
I am ecstatic, man. Like, oh my God, that's the biggest win I've ever seen Notre Dame win in my lifetime. Like,
Yep.
I thought the Clemson game when we beat them, all that was Notre Dame was big, but damn.
Yeah, that
Wow,
Clemson 2020 was probably the best quote unquote feeling I've had since tonight, and tonight is better because this one actually feels like there's depth to it, and you know there's deeper meaning, if that makes sense. Like the Clemson in 2020, it's great. It's a regular season win. We beat a number 1 team at home. It's awesome.
And then
It was
we
awesome.
made it to a championship game, and then we got our asses kicked.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, you know, and then you can start making excuses going forward, right? But this is like, you beat the SEC champions, you get the New Year's 6 monkey off your back. It's a playoff win. It's a New Year's 6 win. We haven't won down in New Orleans in forever. It's just
We're now 1-3 versus freaking Georgia now.
oh my gosh, it's well, and then you've got
beautiful.
It's really is beautiful. That's a great way to describe it. So other than basking in the glory of the win, what are other takeaways or responses, reactions you have of this football game?
The only concern is now the preparation for next week on January 9th. Get one less day to prepare and everything, since we add an extra day, because now they're getting back to South Bend.
Yeah, they'll fly in tonight.
My only concern is Howard Cross, Jeremiah Love, and possibly a little bit of Xavier Watts. I know he came back in after a short little stint in the medical tent after the shoulder injury, but he gutted it out and everything like that. My only concern is how much more can this defense freaking take with injuries, man? Like, we're already depleted, but according to all the ESPN insiders and everybody who don't watch a fucking ounce of Notre Dame football, we're healthy as fuck. We're healthy as hell on defense. Like, what? Like, you guys not watch this team at all? Obviously not. Like,
no.
It's just so annoying. Like, I love Pat McAfee. Love the guy. I'm a big Colts fan. But, like, he tweeted out a little thing about, this Riley Leonard guy is a freaking dog. And I was like, yeah, you don't know ball, Pat. We've been watching him all fucking year. Maybe he's not the most polished freaking passer and everything like that. But, man, like, I was screaming at B-dubs, yelling, I'm like, hey, we keep running the ball. We get like maybe 2 or 3 yards down a carry. It's like, yo, let Riley start freaking running the ball, and guess what? Things are going to start opening up.
Yes.
It's like
when they started handing it off to Price, and Price is running into a wall, but he has the athletic ability to bounce it outside for like 3 yards. I'm like, see that right there. That's what you have to do. One of those will break open. Like, I don't like, doing the high school thing where you run out of bounds. That's not what I'm saying. But when you're Price or Leonard and you have the wheels that can get you a couple yards, shit, you can make some lemonade out of those lemons.
Yeah, and then like as soon as he started taking off his legs, like, they can't stop Love, Leonard, and Price. And then like when Miles Williams came in, like, even as I think he's either a freshman or a sophomore, but like even he was like freaking like a great running back too. Like, he's not the greatest right now, but he's gonna be good once he gets more reps and everything. But like,
Aeneas Williams had a lot of snaps. I would love to go through, and if someone actually counts snaps and plays that he was in a lot. Like, it looked like Jeremiah Love got banged up, which is really unfortunate. So we'll keep our eyes to social media and the press of Notre Dame's media.
Yeah, and there wasn't much running room for him or
no, and it's unfortunate that he didn't have a bigger impact tonight with the way things kind of panned out. According to the stat sheet, he had 6 carries for 19 yards, so nothing too crazy. Price had an average of 3.7 yards per carry. Riley Leonard was the rushing leader with 80 yards on 14 carries, averaging 5.7. So.
Yeah, but like you brought up earlier, like that fourth down, that first one we were in shotgun. Like, come on, don't be in shot. Like, just stop being cute with stuff. Yeah, go for it on fourth down, but like,
go under center.
Exactly. Like, come on. But clearly, the officiating crew was one-sided as hell.
So bad.
Like, we had like freaking like 8 penalties for like 80 some yards, and they had like 4 for like 36. It's like, that's insane. Like, I mean, yeah, some of the ones were self-inflicted and that were actually legit, but like one of the holding calls that we got, freaking like, what about all the holding calls that freaking like we had more pressure on them than they did us?
Yeah.
And like, you're telling me that they're not holding? Like, there's no way. We had like 4 or 5 sacks, and allegedly they're not holding us at all. Like, get out of here. But like, it's just one-sided of the whole penalty shit. But I'm excited. There was one Georgia fan at B-Dubs. One Georgia fan. And
now, may I inquire, which B-Dubs is it? Is this the one over in Speedway or the one downtown or?
No, in Muncie.
Oh, up in Muncie. Oh man, that yeah, I've not been to that one. So, okay, yeah. Fair enough.
And the greatest thing is, like, I'm going to Chicago tomorrow to watch the men's hockey team play in Wrigley Field. Like, it just makes it so much better. So much better.
Yes.
Like, and then after that, Saturday, I'm going back to South Bend. I'm going to South Bend after Chicago and going to watch the men's basketball team play in South Bend. So I'll be back on campus on Saturday. I'm sure the vibes are going to be so freaking awesome. Like,
yeah,
I'm just excited. Like, this is great. I've already ordered the Sugar Bowl championship T-shirts.
Good.
They'll be on the way.
Good. Celebrate this shit, man. I'm happy you're embracing your Irish. You're making kind of a week out of it. That's awesome, man.
Definitely.
Well, Adam, really appreciate you. We're gonna try to get a couple more people on before we shut her down tonight. Thank you so much. All right, Adam, thanks so much. Mac, we're finally bringing you back on, man. We just wanted to go around because we know you've got some good vibes here. I'm curious what your grade is of Marcus Freeman. Mac, it says you're connecting. We'll come back around. Patty Mac is there. We've also invited Frank to speak, who's been listening for a while. Thank you, Frank. Mac is coming back here. I don't know where my silly brother is. I'm surprised he didn't jump on, but it is what it is. Again, I cannot stress the joy in my heart of winning a New Year's Six and doing it against one of the big dogs, pun intended, against Georgia, the SEC champion, and against a coach who's been there and done that. This isn't like we just beat Lane Kiffin, who's having a good year. No, Kirby Smart is an experienced, good coach that we just beat, and that feels really good. A couple other statistical things here before we bring Mac on, who is in the wing here, ready to go. I've got our statistical scoring drives. This is something I like looking at. Notre Dame was 45% on scoring drives. Now, this includes field goals, right, and also includes our kickoff return. But if you take those 4 plays into account, Notre Dame scored on 45% of their drives, 5 out of 11. Georgia, 2 out of 11. All right. Who's there? Mac.
Am I there?
Let's go, man. Let's do it.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to turn off. I was trying to turn off the Muppet Babies. I'm sorry. Anyway, I just wanted to say. So I'm just gonna get emotional here.
Feel free,
the
man.
last-
You ain't
the
the only
last-
one tonight.
The last New Year's Six game, I think I was in kindergarten, and we were at my Uncle Ron's house. And I'm come from a family of Italian immigrants. And I know my great-grandparents. They died when I
Me
was
too.
in my... They died when I was in my late 20s. My great-grandfather fought in World War II. And I just remember how special Notre Dame was. And I remember when they won, I realized it was the New Year's Six game because we went over to Uncle Ron's house, who's passed away last year, and I put it together now that I'm an adult that it wasn't. But we went over there on New Year's and watched Notre Dame, and everyone was happy, and they taught me about Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And so I just think of Ma and Gramps, Grandma Barbara, Grandma Ellen, Uncle Ron. And I just think of them. And I'm looking right now at my son.
Yeah.
I'm looking at him. He's right here. And I just, just the how much they love the team, because that cut scene from Rudy about being Italian immigrants or
Yeah.
just being immigrants and Catholic. That's what Notre Dame is. And for me, that's what it was. And I'm just so happy, and I just think of them, and I miss them so much in my heart. And I know that, and when 86 dropped the ball, he was wide open for a touchdown for Georgia. That was a touchdown. I couldn't stop thinking it was divine intervention.
Yeah.
And I just was crying. I literally cried the whole second half because, people don't know this, but, I'm an autistic person, and I can't handle emotions. And I want to thank you, Joe, for letting me blow up your phone because I get so nervous and scared.
Cool, man.
But just, I just think
Trust me, you're not
people.
blowing up my phone as much as other people. Okay, trust me.
I just think of those people that gave me it's not I don't know if it's a gift or it's a curse sometimes being a Notre Dame fan.
It's felt like a curse for 30 years, but now it's like, oh, thanks a lot, Uncle Ron. I'm with you, man.
But this is just because my dad was always a Pac-10 guy, so he didn't like Notre Dame. He always liked USC and whatnot. But it's just, this is very special. It's in my heart. I can't explain it. I'm sorry.
I think you're touching in on a lot of things, because I think that's and I know the scene you're speaking of in Rudy. I think it's actually technically in the extras of the DVD. It didn't actually make the final feature film whatever cut.
Correct.
Maybe it's in the director's cut. Who knows?
It is.
But it's something where Rudy's dad or someone in the family is like one of the in-laws or the daughters-in-laws is like, what's the big deal, and they're like, you don't understand. Every time this small Catholic team went on the road and beat one of the big boys, it wasn't just a win for the school. It was a win for all of us, all these young Catholic immigrant families. And it was a win for everybody across the country that is dealing with that struggle, and as a member of the Knights of Columbus that I am, that's indicative of our formation as a fraternity of Catholic men that support one another, right? That's how we were created, was out of that oppression and that sort of thing, right? And you have all this greatness, and then you have this school in South Bend, and it's like, look, when our football team does, we go back to those times of look, it's a win for all of us. And now it also kind of means something more, because it's like, well, Notre Dame's kind of the city on a hill, and the players go to class, and we got Our Lady on the dome, and there's this sense of goodness that we still are like, we're the Jedis, we're out there fighting the good fight, if I may say. And it's like, no, like every time Notre Dame, loses one of these big games, it just stings so much more. And now that's done, 30 years gone, and now Notre Dame is on top. of Georgia on top of the SEC champion, and we're
Yes.
going to the Orange Bowl now. We're gonna play Penn State. Another solid team. It's a good football team that we get to play. It's awesome.
I just want to say one thing. My great grandfather, who immigrated when he was a little boy from Italy, he fought in World War II. He was a bomber, and he was in Europe. And the FBI came to their house, and they took his rifles, they took their two-way radio, and everything, because technically they were Italian immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
And my great grandmother was only allowed to go to the market in a certain radius. Again, those are people who died in my 20s, so I knew them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think of them and how they loved Notre Dame because they talked about the discrimination. This man was in Europe. He was fighting. He was flying. He was a bomber. And he was in Europe. And the FBI took his hunting rifles.
Yeah.
And I just think of Gramps, and he's the one who taught me how to play golf. He got his tour card and he taught me how to play golf. It's just so emotional because I think of my family, and I know that I'm not the only one who had generations passed down.
Yeah.
And yes, give Marcus Freeman the Brinks truck. I want to give him more than what he got now.
I wasn't gonna say it. I was gonna let you come around there. But
what did I say? I said if they beat Georgia, they should have signed him for longer. But that's what I was thinking of.
You can fan those flames on social media, man. Like those people, yeah, absolutely.
But I was legitimately. But when they won that game, I was just thinking of those people that we've lost. I mean, 40. What is almost 40 years, Joe? That's a long time. That's almost that's 2 generations I've lost, and I just God, I look at my little boy and I know how much they would love him and how much they would love to have shared this with us. And that's what I thought of, Joe. And again, thank you for letting me vent.
No, it's awesome. I mean, that's what makes these wins more, favorable and special, because it's not just us here on this podcast and people, letting to, emote and just, share their feelings about how good they feel after this win. But when, put social media aside or this podcast aside, when you've got your family, your children next to you, or your spouse, whoever's next to you, maybe a buddy you've been watching Notre Dame with for years, and it's like, okay, where are we watching tonight? Like you've got your special circle around you that you watch Notre Dame with, people like Luis or whatever. Irish JTL's got his children. I had the doc and my kids. I'm holding one of my kids the entire game, either the toddler or the baby. Like someone's in my arms, right? As I got a beer in one hand and a baby in the other. Like it's just what happens in my house. And to watch these games and especially this game tonight with people that are special to you makes it all worth it.
I love everybody here. I've met so many people. Thank you for your supports. I love everybody. And if I'm ever critical, I always tell people I'm a pessimist because that way I protect myself. And I think, Joe, it's fair to protect yourself from Notre Dame sometimes.
Trust me, man. I've gone up and down the rabbit hole about what the fuck am I doing here a couple times, and I'm not going to be asking myself that question this year, which is really great.
Tonight's so special. I got some Asti.
Ooh.
Yes, which is again Italian, right?
Yeah.
And hey, I am, and I know that you're an Italian.
My mom's
American.
Italian. She always has Asti in the fridge. Always. My mom always has Asti in the fridge.
And I know that you're Italian American too, and I really love that. I feel very close to you, seeing that you made the chicken parm when you had the cutlets. But I mean that it's
They were
just,
delicious, by the way.
That's what Notre Dame means to me. Is that's why I
Chicken
love
parm.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I was just carbo loading before the game. That's what it comes.
But being Catholic, it's an identity, Joe.
It is. It really is.
Being this, it is an identity, and I can't explain it anymore. Just coming because I know the struggles that my great grandparents had coming into San Francisco and stuff. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, God bless everybody.
Blessings to you too, Mac. I really appreciate you sharing your feelings and your thoughts and a little bit of your family history.
Sorry,
there.
I got emotional.
No, never apologize. It's always welcome. And
it.
tonight's kind of one of those shows where the emotions are warranted, because there's a lot of crap. You know, I said in the last show, I said we will talk about the uncomfortable emotion, and I ended the show on a very different note, what I normally do, very serious, about, you know, how, you know, if I was literally reading off all the losses of the last 10 New Year's Sixes that we had lost, and the margin of defeat per se. And I basically said, if this doesn't piss you off, don't watch this football game, and it's like take that and motivate that into you. That's kind of my energy there. And so now that's done and that we're going forward, I can move forward in a clean, happy kind of way.
Joe, I'd like to give a shout out to my sister also, who for Christmas went and got me a beautiful, and I know how expensive this jacket was, but got me a beautiful Notre Dame jacket for Christmas.
Like a Rudy jacket, or she was at some she was in Gary at some secondhand store, and
she I don't want to spill too
surplus
much,
store in Gary.
It's just let's just say I didn't get her the same. I didn't spend the same amount as she did on me. And I want to say shout out to her, and I want to say shout out to my wife. My wife's what is it called? Maid of honor came down for New Year's, and because there's a Comic-Con going on in Sacramento, and she watched the Notre Dame game with me because of the terrorist attack. And her hotel room doesn't open up until tomorrow. Long story short,
good grief.
I want to thank her for not judging me when I was going crazy during the game.
Excellent.
So anyway, thank you. But God bless everybody. God bless everyone.
God bless us, everyone.
Love you all.
What a great way to finish the show. I don't think we're gonna get anything else better than that. Thank you so much, Mac, for sharing all of that with us. Man, what a great way to finish the show. Absolutely love our fans, love our faithful here. Gosh, man, I mean, Notre Dame flying high, doing good stuff here. Trying looking for the victory march here. I should be victory. Okay, there we go. But yeah, no, I'm a happy camper. Let's go out with the victory march. I think that's what we'll do tonight. So, thank you everyone for joining on the Fighting Irish Faithful show. Notre Dame is victorious over Georgia, winning by 13 points. We got a 24-hour rule. Enjoy the podcast, and then we'll go back to the grindstone. We'll be back here breaking down Penn State. Season's not over. We ain't done. There's a lot of scotch still in that cupboard. Go Irish. Good night.
Go Irish.